The next principle of art is pattern. Pattern is the repetition of elements in an artwork. So, pattern is created when things are repeated in an artwork consistently. So, this can happen by repeating all kinds of elements like lines and shapes, colors, forms, textures, or by repeating objects or figures. So pattern can be created by repeating just like different types of the same of lots of different objects, or repeating the same figures over and over again. Lots of different ways to create pattern, but most patterns are created by just having a consistency. So the same thing repeated over and over again. Most patterns are also tend to be flat. So we think of patterns created by shapes, colors, and lines to be our most common patterns. This artwork here is by Bisa Butler. She's one of my favorite contemporary artists, and she works primarily in textiles. So both basically just fabric and thread and things like that. So no paint has been used to create this artwork. This is just lots of different types of fabric that have these patterns already printed on them, and then they're cut up and placed in an arrangement that creates this figure. She generally focuses on portraiture in her artwork, and she creates um, these portraits of different people, generally taken from photographs of the Black community and of people who are just random strangers, the photographs that have been archived throughout history, and then she brings new life into these people. This specific artwork is called I Am Not Your Negro, and it is specifically inspired by James Baldwin, who wrote an unfinished manuscript at the very end of his life called I Am Not Your Negro. The fabric that has been used here has also had different types of fabric like wool and cotton and chiffon. Let's look a little bit closer here at the different types of fabric being used. So we can see that she overlays a chiffon, which is like a transparent fabric, in order to get the sense of value and three dimensions in this artwork. Like we mentioned, pattern is generally flat. So if we want something to be three-dimensional with pattern, we have to add another layer of value to make that happen. Another artwork that uses pattern really effectively is this really famous painting called The Kiss by Gustav Klimt. This is an oil painting with gold leaf, and we can see that there are lots of different patterns being used and put together to create the figures in this artwork. Lots of different types of shapes are being put together to create pattern. We have different kinds of lines being created to create pattern, and even the textures in the background create a sort of pattern um, as a almost like gold starry sky. That's pattern.